film combines all these other types of art forms. So we love to build things. We love to work with our hands. We love to bring an audience through an experience. Matthew and I, we're twins, so we kind of grew up in our own world. We always had someone to bounce off of. So we kind of grew up just playing a lot, really. And I think we wanted to develop a way for us to continue that. My name is Jared Young, and I am the other half of the Brothers Young, and I have a production company with my twin brother, Matthew Young, and that's a lot of Youngs in one sentence. Today we're going to shoot an episode of the Very Airy Library with Stan Tucker, and the focus is literacy, and it features a guy named Stan Tucker, who is the host.
The Very Airy Library is all about inspiring storytelling. We want to show the kids the magic of stories. So the story goes, there's a magical library hidden in a forest, and what makes it magical is that it has every book ever written. And I go on a journey to find it, and when I find it, it's in shambles, so I rebuild it, but I want to make it accessible to all. So I turn it into a flying library.
It's kind of a tree with balloons on it. And he takes it to kids and interviews them. And these particular kids have written books that he's had professionally illustrated. And so the show features those kids and the books that they've written. When the pandemic started, we met Stan, and he was looking for an outlet to reach kids via the internet because he couldn't meet in person. And at the time, he had a read and roll bus, and he would take the bus to schools, but when the pandemic hit, he couldn't take the bus to schools. And so we developed the show, The Very Airy Library, pretty much over the course of 2 years. Matthew and I built the set, and Stan just continued his program. He gets the kids, he runs the Share Your Story program, and so it's a wonderful, wonderful relationship, and so far so good.
As a second grade teacher, I remember dancing and singing along, but I never had any experience being on camera. And so it's been a learning curve for me, but it's so exciting. You know, a lot of times I just visualize kids out there that are watching me. And so I'm still just being that teacher, but on camera.
When we met Stan, we knew that he would be a perfect type of host for a live action type of talk to camera show. And so it was just a really good fit for both of us. I think we've always gravitated towards children's shows because of the box. There really is no box. We love the fantasy elements. We love the humor that you can bring to it. We love to be able to do whatever we want and not have to justify it. Like, this is a flying tree with balloons, and it's really not physically practical, but we don't have to justify anything because it's children's media. Kids are great, but they have short attention spans. So what we try to do is be very prepared when they come in so they can have a great time, but also they don't have to be here forever. We want them to leave and tell their friends and tell everyone that they saw the Very Airy Library and it wasn't boring. We love live action, we love practical sets, we love practical effects. You know, whatever we can do to use our hands, that's what we gravitate towards. So we've built a world here in our studio where we can, you know, kind of do what we love and make it easy on ourselves.
I'm a teacher by trade. I taught second grade in Metro Atlanta. One afternoon, book fair came to town and all the kids were super excited. And a kid who didn't have money came up to me and told me, he said, "Mr. Stan, my mom said we don't have money for books, so I'm not gonna be able to go." And it broke my heart. And at that moment, I wanted to buy him and everyone else who didn't have money. And then fast forward later, once I got out of the classroom, I remembered that and how impactful it was for me. So I started this program, Leap for Literacy, and our mission is to get books in the hands of kids and also inspire stories.
I'm an avid reader myself. I think literacy is important in general because it broadens our perspective, right? And I think whatever we do, whatever Jared and I do, we're always looking to show another perspective, whether that's this particular show or any of the other shows that we're working on. And I think the more literate somebody is, the more that they read, the more that they educate themselves, the more stories that they hear from other perspectives, it just broadens who they are as a person.
After I was in the classroom a little longer, I realized and I learned about the statistics that say if a kid is not reading on third grade level, their chances are they're gonna drop out of school or end up in jail. And I think about it, at third grade, you're 8, 9 years old and you're already getting set up for potentially failure from what the statistics say. And I just really knew that I had to do something to inspire kids to read. Seeing me on the television and then seeing me in real life, it was funny. Some of the younger kids are like, "You're real." Being on the show is a dream come true. I never thought that I would have an opportunity to be on a children's show. 10, 20 years from now, the next New York Times best-selling author is a kid who got inspired by watching us every week.